an actual threat by a city councilman or two that it might be time to subpoena MATA because the financial records have just not been forthcoming. And in fact, quoting Councilman Carlisle here, he told you, "I'm fully prepared to use our subpoena power if the city administration and council continue to not receive timely, accurate information. Then I am inclined to make an official request no later than the October 15 meeting to have the subpoena." And this is a very unusual thing if it happens for the city council to do.
Yeah, it certainly is. And what Councilman Carlisle's comments here, I think, illustrate, and what we first really need to talk about is, we published yesterday at the Daily Memphis, and you can go read the story, you can go read the letter accompanying it, but City Attorney Tanera Gibson sent MATA's interim CEO, Bakara Malden, a letter essentially saying, we need proof of a lot of these expenses that you guys have incurred. And, we've been told the buses may stop running if we don't release money. And what the dynamic here that we're really seeing is the city of Memphis is really the primary funder of MATA. The city of Memphis does not actually have any statutory authority over MATA. They got no ability to pick up the phone and say, like, Mayor Young can call down to Public Works and say, go pick up that, go do that, go fix that pothole. He can't do that at MATA. And so the city of Memphis is essentially using the power of the purse here, and they're working as the disbursements department, essentially. That's what they're doing. And so that letter, and what Chase Carlisle was talking about here, is that there's been broad frustration, and his comments sort of articulate that. There's been some frustration for a long time with MATA from the city council. There was a chance during budget season MATA didn't receive a dime. That's how angry the city council was, and that sort of got walked back, and there was some last-second maneuvering to sort of save that. So MATA really hasn't shown the city, and the city in that letter lists a bunch of unpaid bills, and they're saying which of these bills is going to make the buses not run. And it's a very messy situation, and really the conversation I just started having here has nothing to do with the people who need to ride the buses.
Right. Yeah. So in the meantime, it's a shell of its former self, which is saying a lot because there wasn't much to it to begin with. But you have 5 routes that have been cut. The trolleys aren't running anymore, which is the one, I don't know, I think it was something that Memphians were proud of. It was, postcard type stuff. And now, they can barely get the buses on this rows. And Mark, I'll go to you on this. It just seems like, when is it time to throw in the towel here? And here, they have a consultant they've hired. They have a deep dive kind of financial audit that's taking place. Apparently, they're not being very cooperative with that. When do we just say that's it?
I don't know if it's time to throw in the towel, but I support Budget Chair Chase Carlisle's efforts to get the facts. And quite frankly, if I was Budget Chair Carlisle, I wouldn't be threatening anything. I would do the subpoena today. Don't wait till October 15th. And if you see all the people that you're interviewing on the news who are the users of MATA, they are absolutely desperate. And they're saying to all of us, please don't stop this service. How am I going to get to work? How am I going to get to the hospital? How am I going to get here and there? So, but for the city to fund them and not expect financial records immediately and transparency, I wouldn't give another nickel until they're going to be transparent.
And notice as journalists, all of us here, when people aren't being transparent, they're not being forthcoming, I smell cover up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's something to hide. I mean, what is up under the table there? I agree with everything that's been said here. And frankly, I am glad to see the city council and the city administration, the city attorney and the city council attorney in lockstep on this.
Yeah, they really are.
They really are. This is the first unified effort that I've seen from them in a while. And this is a righteous indignation here because MATA is a mess. And we just got through talking about getting more conventions here, getting our hotels. We need the trolley working at some point.
Tourists love the trolley.
The tourists love the trolley, and the folks who would come to a convention that can't stay close, they may be down at the other hotels, Hampton or Centric or wherever, and they would like to have the trolley to get over to the convention center. So MATA has to get its act together, or we just need to come up with something totally new, maybe a glorified Uber system to get people where they need to go. I don't know what the answer is, but MATA is just not doing it.
Not so far, and the lack of transparency is concerning.